Hi guys, in today's episode we're going to talk about how to explain Bitcoin and crypto to your little sister. So I've got my little sister Ginny here today.
Hi guys.
And she's going to ask me a few questions about crypto and what the hell it's all about. This is Aussie Ty and you're watching a Crypto Current Affair. So we're in my hometown of Melbourne and I've got my little sister here to ask me some questions about Bitcoin. And So Jen, how are you finding hearing about Bitcoin from your friends and in the news?
I heard about it on the news. We've spoken about it with friends. Heard mixed reviews. I honestly don't know anything about Bitcoin, so I'm hoping to learn a little bit more today.
Great. So Bitcoin, it's a virtual currency. So it sits on computer systems around the world, and that's where the store of value is held.
So is Bitcoin real?
Real, I guess it's as real as anything. So when you say, is it real, there is a store of value. It is stored on computers around the world, and I can exchange it to people. So I can pay people with Bitcoin. I can even use it in some shops. So I went to a pub in Sydney recently, and there was a Bitcoin ATM, and they had a sign saying they accept Bitcoin there as well. So that's pretty real. But it's a really cool question that you ask because, when you think about money, is money real? Is that piece of paper that we exchange, or plastic now, that we exchange to each other, is that real? It's real because we, as humans, put a value to it. Similar to gold as well, there's a utility, and the store of value. So I think it's pretty real. And then, when you get paid into a bank account, don't you? So you don't get a yellow envelope with cash anymore. I remember my first job many moons ago at Coles at the supermarket. That's how I got paid. Every fortnight they give me a pay packet, a literal pay packet, but that hasn't happened for forever. So you get virtual money paid into your bank account. You can pay your credit card off with that virtual money, and then you can use your credit card to go buy things in the shops with your virtual money. So how real is money really? It's real because we've all say it's real.
But can I trust it?
Trust it how? As in...
It's still so new. We've heard mixed reviews.
That's a great question, actually. So that's a great question. So can you trust it? So in about the 10 years that it's been around, Bitcoin itself, the source code of Bitcoin has never been hacked. So that's pretty stable. And you hear about banks being hacked and exchanges being hacked. Yes, that happens. But because of the nature of Bitcoin and how it's decentralized, it means that all the data isn't held in one data center or a data center and a backup center. So it's not one point of attack. You have to attack all the computers that are running the Bitcoin code and running the Bitcoin ledger. So it's pretty secure. And really interesting today, I was listening to Andreas Antanopoulos, and he was talking about how, yes, the exchanges have been hacked, but you can't blame the currency, you can't blame Bitcoin, because that's never been hacked. So if a bank robber went into a bank and stole your money, you blame the bank, not the currency.
Correct. So you mentioned before being able to pay using your credit, so pay using Bitcoin via your credit card. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because there are actually companies now, various companies that are trying to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and real fiat currency. So there's an interesting company based in Singapore called TenX, and they actually release Visa cards that you can load your cryptocurrency onto, and then once it's on there, they do the exchange from crypto to Visa, and then the payment gets processed by Visa in a shop. So essentially you can use that Visa debit card to go purchase stuff. And furthermore, there's other companies like Omisego, they're like a PayPal of Asia, and they've already got a business around transferring money from people to people. And so they've launched a coin called Omisego, and a similar concept there. And in Australia, there's a website called Living Room of Satoshi, and you can actually load your cryptocurrency there and pay your bills with crypto. So that's really
great.
Fascinating.
So are there any, how do the fees work with Bitcoin? Does it still go to the bank?
So the beauty about cryptocurrency and what bankers are very scared of, there have been a lot of attacks by investment bankers and stories of recently the Commonwealth Bank banning their credit card transactions to Coinbase, which is a place where you actually use a credit card to buy coins. So they feel threatened by it. So rather than embrace the new technology and help customers, they're actually pushing customers away. So what they're going to find is that another bank is going to go, you know what, we see a gap in the market, we're going to fulfill this, and the Commonwealth Bank will be left in back there. But I do digress. So what was the question?
I actually just wanted to touch on the concern about the point you just raised. If some of the big banks aren't on board, I would feel that there's probably a reason why, that maybe it is a risky investment or a risky way of...
So I'll tell you this. Banks are in the business of making money, right? And if they see a threat to their business, they are trying to block that business. The argument about, it's a risky investment, we want to look after our customers. Why don't they ban all ATMs at the casino, which is just across the road here in South Bank? If they really cared, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? They don't, because it's part of the old system. It's part of a way they make money off you.
Right.
Yeah. So, I was watching another video, which is funny, and this guy was saying, Jamie Dimon, he's JP Morgan, he's an investment banker. They make a lot of money. This crypto can actually cut out a lot of these fees. What? They might not make their bonus? Shock horror. But so they see it as a threat to their livelihood. So that's why they are lashing out against it. Some of them, not all of them. But, don't for a second think that banks necessarily care for your welfare, because they just want to make money.
Right. So what is the benefit of me using Bitcoin?
So the benefits are that it's borderless, so you can transfer money. So our mum's overseas at the moment, so if she needed some cash and she had a Bitcoin wallet, we can actually send her some without using a bank, and it can happen pretty fast as well. So with cryptocurrency, there are various coins at the moment. So there's Bitcoin, the oldest and the first.
Yep.
The way that it's evolved at the moment and the way that technology is at, it's like a store of value. So it's more akin to gold. So like gold, it's not as easy to go in a shop and shave a few gold shavings and buy a cappuccino down the street. But so it's more of a store of value and where you want to transfer large amounts. But there are other currencies that have come into play. One that I really like is Litecoin. And Litecoin wants to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. And Litecoin has really fast transactions. So I sent thousands of dollars recently cross-border and using Litecoin, and it cost me 60 cents. So it's a
big saving.
Yeah, and it happened within minutes. So it's a huge saving. If you went to traditional companies, they charge you 3-4% of your money to do that transfer, and a setup fee. So it's a big disruptor, and that's where it's democratizing money. So, and it's allowing people, say in the third world, who don't have access to banks, access to money. Like the mobile phone really helped a lot of the African population get into modern systems. I think this is a way for them to access banking and with reduced fees, and be able to live off it and transfer money and feed their families, like in Venezuela, for example.
Right.
Where Venezuela, they had a really unstable currency, even more unstable than Bitcoin, and so that was the preferred value, that the average person was mining Bitcoin and using that to buy goods and services.
Great. So if we were to transfer money to Mum, how would she withdraw this money?
Okay, so if it was in the case of Mum, what we'd need to do in future, not on this trip, is to set up one of those Visa debit cards for her, and then have it ready. And then if she used all the money, then we would transfer money into that account. So we'd have an address or a QR code that we would transfer from our wallet into hers, and then it would be there ready for her to go spend in a shop.
So she'd treat it just like a credit card.
Correct, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Aussie Thai, so I'm interested in buying some Bitcoins. How do I go about doing that?
So with to buy Bitcoin, you need to get onto a fiat on ramp. So fiat means currency backed by government, pretty much. So in Australia, there's a few places you can go to, including Independent Reserve, CoinJar, for example. So I've got a link below where you can click on it and purchase some coins. But I have a video. Also, I'll also put this in the link where you can use Coinbase. Coinbase, I find, is really good because it's pretty cheap, the price of the coin, so it's close to the global price, whereas I find in the Australian fiat on ramps, the exchanges, the prices are always a bit higher than you get in America or in Asia, for example. So, and the beauty of Coinbase is that you can use your ING debit card to purchase the coins, and you don't get charged foreign transaction fees if you use that process. So one, you get a really cheap rate. Even with the Coinbase fees, it's still cheaper than sending cash to an Australian exchange and buying your Bitcoin there.
Great. So Aussie Ty, I'm ready to invest $500 into cryptocurrency. What will that look like for me?
Well, I'll bring up the Coinbase account. There's an app that you can download for it. So at the moment, the price of Bitcoin is 12,514 Australian dollars. You don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. The beauty about Bitcoin is that you can divide it into 8 decimal places. So $500 is about 0.4 of a Bitcoin. So you can actually go onto Coinbase and load up your credit card and then purchase it there.
Great.
And the beauty about Coinbase is that, like superannuation, or in America, I think you call it 407k, you can set a regular purchase, so you can purchase it every week or every month, $100 or whatever, and then that can build up your portfolio slowly. But I'm not a financial advisor, so before you do that, go seek professional financial advice, and you too at home.
So I've had conversations with my girlfriends about cryptocurrency, and we're all really wary still. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So with anything new, it's there's going to be skepticism around it, and there's talk about Ponzi schemes and the tulip mania and whatnot. I guess when you look back, anything new is going to be feared. But when you look at the code of Bitcoin has not been hacked at all. The coin itself, so it's really secure. It's the oldest and the most valuable cryptocurrency on the market at the moment. The other aspect of security is that once you're your own bank, you do need to take some precautions on it. I have done a video about the Ledger Nano S, which is where you can load up your coins onto this. So some people want something tangible that they can hold, so they put it onto the hardware wallet. What's great about that is you need a PIN to access your wallet on there, so there's another layer of protection for your coins.
This actually reminds me of a radio segment that I heard on Hamish and Andy where they purchased a Bitcoin and then they forgot the password. Does that mean that they've lost their Bitcoin?
It'd be like if you grabbed some paper money, you put it in a bag and you dug it in a hole and you forgot where you put it. You've lost it.
Right.
So you have to take your security seriously. So the thing with banking is that you're paying all those fees because they add that layer of protection. So the average person would probably not have the energy or the discipline to manage their money, their Bitcoins, and that's why they outsource it to a bank, and that's why the banks in Australia in particular make billions of dollars because of that function, and it plays a valuable function. But for people who are willing to take on that work, for people who are willing to take on that risk, then why should they pay the banks for that?
So what are the risks? What are the known risks of cryptocurrency?
The known risks of cryptocurrency, well, like with any banking, any money, as soon as people hear about someone having money, there'll be scams. So similar to your bank account, you can get phished. So there's been some recent ICOs, which are coin launches, and there've been phishing scams where people have been emailed about these new coins, and it's looked like an official email saying send your money here, get a bonus, and people have fallen for it and they've sent their coins to this scam. So you got to be on your toes. I've heard about viruses as well, where people, where they copy and paste their wallet address to unlock their money. There's some viruses that actually change that paste address to the hacker's wallet, and so rather than sending to you, I've sent it to their account. So there's some precautions you need to take.
So are there reputable websites that I can go to where I can see, if I am being scammed or about to be scammed?
So with any internet security, whether it's crypto or your banking, so if you get an email, just reply to it and see if the domain name that you're applying to is, for example, say if it's commonwealthbank.com.au, make sure it's the same as the secure Commonwealth one. So always check the incoming email domain or the website. So if you're logging on to your wallet, so myetherwallet.com, make sure that the URL in your web browser has the padlock and isn't directing you somewhere else. So it's the same precautions you take for your internet banking.
Aussie Thai, I'm still wary. Where can I go for more information?
You're a really tough audience today, aren't you? There's a lot, I admit there's a lot to wade through on the internet. Mm-hmm. So I'll post some comments and information and links down below on sites that I've found valuable. And you can learn all you need to know on a crypto current affair as well. So stay tuned to this channel, and I'll add more and more instructional pieces as well, including the Coinbase and the Ledger wallets and more videos in the future.
Great. Look, I'm still wary. What's the next step for me to be more informed?
Well, look, I admit there's a lot of information that you need to wade through on the internet. So I'll post some resources that'll help you explain about Bitcoin, what is the blockchain, in a link down below, and get yourself informed, and hopefully we can talk about it in a future video, because I know you're a really tough audience, and you got to make up your own mind if this is for you or not.
Definitely, I think this was a perfect first step for me, and I've learned a lot today. I'm still wary, as you said, but I'm eager to learn more, and I look forward to watching your next video.
Great, thanks, Jin. This is Aussie Thai, and you've been watching A Crypto Current Affair with guest star Jin, my little sister. Stay tuned for more episodes on crypto, and if you like this episode and more of it, please put a comment below, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Click like and subscribe and join me on this crypto current affair. Just because it's double doesn't mean it's a bubble.